Hey, everybody. Welcome to another exciting edition of Fabulous Feature Friday. I'm Susan Bach, your host for this weekly program, and today our featured guest is Dana Zarcone. Hi, Dana.
Hey, Susan. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here.
Oh, me too. I can just hardly sit in the chair. I'm so excited, as you can probably tell. I do want to take just a moment to read this official bio of Dana because it's just so impressive and it gives you just a snapshot of all of the aspects of who Dana is. She is known as the Liberating Leadership Coach. Dana is passionate about helping her clients live all in and full out, step into their power, and enjoy epic success in life and business. Following a successful 24-year corporate career, Dana earned her master's degree in counseling and is a nationally certified counselor and coach, a 4-time #1 best-selling publisher and author. Let me repeat that. 4 times a #1 best-selling publisher and author, a motivational speaker, and the host of the inspirational podcast, Your Shift Matters. Dana integrates neuroscience, quantum physics, kinesiology, and psychology to show her clients what is truly possible. Through her broad range of education, research, and experience, Dana has developed a revolutionary approach that has helped hundreds of clients make measurable, positive shifts in their lives and make their shifts matter by publishing their amazing stories in her #1 book series, Your Shift Matters. So Dana, welcome.
Thank you, Susan. I appreciate that. Wow, it's kind of weird to hear that yourself.
Doesn't that sound like somebody you'd like to know?
It does, doesn't it? That's kind of cool.
Oh, well, she is an amazing person. So tell us, please share with the audience, Dana, how you came up with the brand Your Shift Matters.
Well, actually, I kind of stumbled onto it, actually. And when I left the corporate world and decided to pursue my private practice as a therapist, I had done the corporate thing and spent lots of money getting branded and working with a professional branding company. And I spent probably $10,000 on branding. I'm almost embarrassed to say. And we came up with this brand, Source Your Joy, Dance with Life Again. And at the time we came up with that brand, it was like, oh my God, that's so beautiful. And I still love the brand. So many people really think that that's a great brand. But the problem was I was off brand. It wasn't my personality. It didn't resonate with me. And I didn't learn that until maybe 1.5 years, 2 years after having that brand, where Source Your Joy sounds very whoa and in with the universe and all this kind of stuff. And I'm very edgy and sassy, and I'm a cheerleader. I'm the rah-rah. I'm the put fire under your feet and help you make shift happen, right? And so I was struggling with that. I didn't know what was off, and it was my branding. So when I was at a mastermind a couple of years ago, I had people saying, hey, Dana, bottom line, what is it you're about? What are you really about? If someone were to ask you one line, what would you say? And I said, there are no easy buttons or happy pills. You have to deal with your shit in order to make a shift. And everyone in the room knew me really well. And it was like, the room went silent and all of them went, that's it. That's it. It matters. And I'm definitely more on brand now. Let's just say that.
I would agree with that. And your shift does matter. You have made a shift, and it's huge. And it matters not only to you, but now to the people that you are impacting as a result of your shift. So thank you for sharing openly about that, about the importance of being in alignment with who we are and the message that we're sending out to the universe.
Yes, thank you.
That's so important. Thank you. So from there, from corporate, from counselor, from Source Your Joy to Your Shift Matters, how did you get into publishing?
I have shifted, haven't I? I'm full of shift. See how that works? I am full of shift. Actually the publishing piece of it, this is an interesting part too. I know your brand, you're very much about people owning their uniqueness.
Yes.
and what they can bring forth their uniqueness. And for a while there, I'm like, oh my God, I can be an online coach. I have young kids. So I thought the virtual methods and model was going to be better suited for me, because online coaching instead of the one-on-one therapy model, this will be perfect. And as I'm on the online world, I met people. And as you know, our virtual network can get rather large. And I wound up meeting someone who was just amazing. And she said, hey, you know what? I'm doing this book. I'm doing an anthology. Would you want to be a participant and a contributor and help me co-author this book? And you can get a chapter in the book and we'll take it to bestseller. And I thought, well, I've always kind of wanted to write. This would be kind of fun to see what this is about. So I wrote in her book, became a bestseller. And I'll tell you, I was completely shocked at what it did for me virtually, of course, but locally, it was a huge game changer. I don't know what it is. All of a sudden, I became a best-selling author, and people were literally buying my book and bringing them to my daughter's football games saying, can you sign this book? I bought your book. And I was getting invited to speaking engagements, and all this stuff was happening. And I thought, there's something to this, you know? I like this. And so at the time, I had my podcast, Your Shift Matters. And the friend who is the publisher of the original book I was in said, you know what? Maybe you should think about doing this, where you take your podcast, and in my podcast, I highlight stories of people going from rock bottom to rock star. What kind of shift did they make where they faced an unbelievable challenge? They persevered, they were resilient, they got through it. What lessons did they learn along the way? And I share those to inspire the listeners so that they too know that they can make the shift. They don't have to stay stuck. And this friend of mine said, you should change your podcast. Some people are listeners, some people are readers. You might want to change. You might want to start this too. So I thought, holy cow. And Your Shift Matters book series was born. And so far, #1 selling book series. And it's just been awesome. And it was also a great way for me to leverage, my corporate background and kind of find that sweet spot between corporate, project manager, team leader, therapist. It just worked out really well. And I'm so excited about sharing people's stories with the world in this way.
Being a contributor to one of your anthologies, I can say that it's also much more than just contributing to a book. For me, if there was doubt that, is it really important? Does my shift matter?
Right.
And in conversation with you, I came to appreciate the fact that it really does matter, that we can make a difference with our story, and that there is so much truth and wisdom in the stories we tell of ourselves and about ourselves, because we're coming at it from the perspective of what's transpired as a result. I can say now that after just doing the book, writing the chapter, going through that process was one huge accomplishment for me. But then it mushroomed into so much more, as you mentioned, with speaking engagements and people reaching out to me that read my chapter that want to connect for various reasons. So it's very cathartic. I think a process to go through to write the chapter, and incredibly self-enriching. And at the same time, it then touches so many other lives. So I can see why you're so passionate about doing this kind of work, that you're really providing an opportunity to women and men to say, this is what it was like, what happened, and what it's like now. And that shift is huge.
It is huge. And it's never underestimated the power of a chapter. I mean, people say, gosh, it's just, it's so much more than a chapter for a lot of reasons. It's that internal process that the writer goes through to put their vulnerable times where they were really vulnerable in their lives and put that on paper to share with the world. And
Right.
Every single author who has been brave enough to do that has talked about what healing it has done for them, because it no longer is this deep, dark secret that they're holding close to their vest that's got this weight over their shoulders. They've been able to release that and go, oh my God, I don't feel the weight of my shoulders anymore. I've made a shift. So it's about the internal healing process. And it's also about using that story in spirit of inspiring other people who, gosh, maybe they went through the same thing and they're feeling really bad about it and don't want to share it with their friends, family, because there's so much shame or self-judgment. And these stories are changing lives, not only of the authors, but the readers themselves.
That's awesome. And congratulations to you for creating this opportunity for people, Dana, because um, it's just that special and that unique, and it's a gift. You make the process so easy for the contributors. I mean,
Yeah.
your project management skills have this thing nailed. It's just amazing what you can do.
Thank you. Yeah, my job is to make it as simple for the authors as possible.
And you do. I can be testament to that. So what type of people come to you to publish their story, or to even inquire if they have a story that's worthy of publishing?
Well, that's actually been interesting. I've loved the way this unfolds, right? Because each book seems to have a different personality of people that are brought into it, which I've always find very intriguing. Some people come to me to write their book, their chapter, because they seriously want to just build a legacy. They want to leave their story in print, so when they pass on, they've got this story in print for their family and friends and that kind of thing. Other people come to me because they're looking to put a little more gas into their business. They want to boost their visibility, and they want to use this as a way to do that. And then I have other people who want to use this as a true catalyst, who want everything that we have to offer in terms of book signing opportunities and public relations work that we provide for the authors. So it just really depends on what their goal is. But I've been so just blessed to have some people come to me just because they want their story in print. They want to leave a legacy, and they're looking forward to being published, all the way to, like, I have an author right now, my last book. She put herself out there. She's got 3 book signings 3 weeks in a row in her community.
Wow.
She's getting a TV interview on their local TV station. She's been interviewed, and she's going to be on their local paper, all because of a chapter. Never underestimate the power of a chapter. You know, I got them to bestseller, and we did the hard work, and now she's making it. She's making the shift happen.
That's terrific. And I can tell you that part of the appeal for me, Dana, is being a business owner. The experts say that one of the things you need to do is be published. You need to write a book. You need to have your name out there. Well, for some of us, the concept or the idea of writing a book is just so overwhelming and intimidating that it's like, there's no way. Whereas a chapter, 2,500, was it 25? How many words in a chapter?
2,500 usually.
That's doable. You know, that's manageable. I can do 2,500 words. That's much more palatable to me than the enormity of writing a book. So I appreciate the opportunity that you've created where people can do something that they can do, a chapter, 2,500 words, and have the benefit of being a #1 best-selling author.
Exactly.
Without writing a book, which is very cool. So because we're talking all about this now, we talked about how authors benefit as a result of being in the project, but if somebody wants to connect with you and explore and say, is this a possibility for me? How are they going to reach out to you? What can they do?
Well, there's 2 things. If they want to just look and explore the option of being a co-author, then they can go to yourshiftmattersbooks.com. And I know you're going to put this on the page.
Yes.
They can go there and they can read all the details, the pros, the cons. I have frequently asked questions. How does it all work? I've got all this information there. And then they can book an appointment with me to apply to be a contributing author. But there's also people who think, oh my God, I know I want to do this, but holy cow, I'm afraid. What if my story, I can't write very well? What if my story's not going to matter to anybody? All this kind of fear can get in the way, and people can get stuck. And the one thing I've noticed is when people get in that place and they really want to do it, but they're finding all these reasons why they won't, they need to shift. That's usually play out in their lives, right? And so I can do a Your Shift Matters discovery session with people. Would love to talk to anybody who just says, God, I think, but I'm so scared. Maybe there's a block that we can address. There's an energy block. There might be a mindset issue, some limiting beliefs that we can uncover to get you unstuck, whether you want to be a part of the anthology or not. If you're feeling stuck, then that's where I can help too. That's where all the coaching and all my experience working with hundreds of clients all over the world, where that comes in.
Well, you are the living example, the epitome of living all in and full out.
Sometimes a little too much.
And that's who you are. See, that's the beauty of it. That's, for me, that's part of the joy of the relationship, is that I know where you're coming from is going to be one of genuineness, of authenticity. You might turn off some filters, which is just great. That's the connection that, and I believe that's how you connect with people, as you're working with them, either in a coaching capacity or in relationship to your books, Dana, is that you believe in them until they can believe in themselves.
Yes. Oh, you just gave me the chills, because that is so, so true for me. I've been through a lot in my life. I've been through a deep depression. I've been through sexual abuse. I've been through so much that I get it. I get it. And I know how hard it is, and the shame that we feel, and how we just can become our worst enemies. And so, like when I mentioned earlier, the cheerleader, I'm the one that puts fire in if he tells you, you can do it. Because seriously, oh my God, look at where I am. I look back and I think, boy, there were times where I wanted to give up, and I've persevered. I've learned so many lessons along the way, and through all of my education and the energy healing and stuff that I can pull out of my tool bag. I just love being able to help people seriously make that shift. And that's why I'm seriously all about the shift.
Yes, you are.
Exactly.
I can go in so many different directions right now. Questions are just more prolific than our time. Let me focus in on one. When you decided to go into this publishing arena, did you have doubts and reservations about your ability to do this?
Yes. And I think part of it was I am truly a recovering perfectionist. And that perfectionism obviously is very old little girl stuff of needing, if I'm not perfect, I don't matter, I'm not lovable, all that stuff can still kind of rear its ugly head from time to time. Yes. And, but at the same time, I'm addicted to always learning new things, right? So it's scary. You put yourself out there and you think, oh my gosh, I get in analysis paralysis. What if this isn't the right path for me? What if I'm really meant to be doing something else, but I'm missing it? And I'm just, and the reality is you have to trust your instincts. You have to trust your gut and really truly identify, where is it that your passion lies? What are you passionate about, and what's going to be the best vehicle to get you to use that passion in service of yourself and others? And this is such a powerful way for me that I just knew that by helping people go through the cathartic experience of, of exposing their underbelly, and then helping them get this in print to heal, and then helping to use those stories to inspire people all around the world, this is huge. It's so powerful. And now I've even shifted where I'm there we go. I'm helping solo authors do the same thing, where they do have a whole book in them. Or actually several of them were in my anthologies and said, whoa, I think I can do this. I can write a book.
Oh, so, wow.
Yeah. So where I faced the fear and pushed through it, because it made so much sense for me. And I had to tell the little girl that felt like she might fail that it's okay. Right. I'm doing the same thing now with my authors, saying, it's okay, you've got this. And I'm with you every step of the way.
So if memory serves correctly, it's been about a year that you were in the anthology that you contributed a chapter to, that you then started your first anthology and now have done 3 more and become a publisher for solo authors in addition, within 12 months.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yeah. And it's so great because I get to work with people in every book's different, every story's different. So it just gives me that variety. And I love hearing people's stories. That's why I love being a podcast host. I love digging deep and uncovering their genius and help, all this amazing stuff. I just love it. So it's just really been a cathartic experience and to not worry about being perfect and just trust the path and surrender a little bit and quit trying to claw my way up to success and just exhale. It's like, wait a minute, I've got this, you know?
What just came through to me as you were saying that, Dana, is that when we stop struggling, we stop making it so difficult and agonizing difficult, and step out of that and allow it to flow and be in the flow, it is so much easier. It doesn't have to be as difficult as we make it.
Exactly. And the fear, I know, is such a big thing.
Huge.
If you're feeling stuck and you're struggling and you're not moving off dead center, and it's just the same Groundhog Day, the same days, the same struggles, and there's fear there, and there's limiting beliefs of all this chatter, not good enough, not lovable, never make it, money is hard to come by, whatever that stuff is. That's where I work with my clients on the coaching side, is helping them uncover all that and clear it so that it doesn't stay there and keep you stuck.
Beautiful. Just awesome. Well, kiddo, our time is winding down. Unfortunately, it feels like it's gone by in a blink.
As always.
Yes, as always. Is there a closing message that you'd like to share with us? And again, if people want to explore either a discovery session with you or how to contribute to your anthology, please share again.
Yes, so anthology, you can read the information on my landing page there, which is the yourshiftmattersbooks.com. And if you want to schedule a session with me, the best place to go would be to danazarcone.com. That'll take you to schedule a session with me. And I think for a message is just that what I'm really about when I talk about making a shift is we need to love ourselves and realize that whether you're suffering with depression, anxiety, trying to recover from sexual abuse or anything like that, you are not broken. You are still the amazing, beautiful, authentic genius of a person that you were always born to be. But it's about loving yourself, having compassion for yourself to heal in a real way so that you can make the shift and then share that shift with everybody. Let them know what you've done, be an inspiration so that others don't have to suffer like you have.
That's lovely. Bringing them out of the darkness into the light, the sunlight of the spirit, of their spirit.
Yes.
Thank you, Dana. Thank you for your time today. Especially thank you for being who you are and for sharing yourself so generously with my community and with the world.
Oh, thank you, Susan. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I love your group. It's a lot of fun and just so happy to be a part of it.
Excellent. Thank you, my dear. And until next time, make every minute count.
And your shift matters.
It does. Bye for now.
Bye.
Okay. Did we stop?